Upper pounds up front.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Tim Gagno, and I represent Woodmen of the World Lodge, Life Insurance Society Lodge 462. Thank you for attending our special in honor and remembrance ceremony. Today we are pleased to have with us Town Supervisor Staub Spiegel, Councilman Donald Trombley, Jerry Dino, and Christopher Latrimore, and also First Sergeant Chris Sample. Since 2002, Woodmen of the World lodges across the country have been dedicating flagpoles and presenting flags not only to honor the heroes and victims of September 11th, 2001, but also to remember the men and women of our armed forces serving in combat. In addition, these ceremonies pay tribute to the men and women in this community who risk their lives daily to keep us safe: police officers, firefighters, and emergency rescue personnel. They all deserve our thanks and admiration. Nearly 4,500 flagpoles have been dedicated to these individuals in the special ceremonies held by Woodmen of the World lodges. Hundreds more will be dedicated this year. We can think of no more special way to honor them than by the sight of the American flag flying proudly. Fraternalism and patriotism are at the very core of Woodmen of the World. They are the fabric that makes us what we are. For more than 120 years, Woodmen of the World has strived to promote family, community, and country. Since 1947, our lodges have presented more than 2 million American flags to community-based organizations across this nation, nearly 285,000 American History Awards to students in elementary, junior, and senior high schools, and more than 1.8 million American Patriots handbooks to schools, scouts, and newly naturalized citizens. 10 years ago, we experienced horrors that we never thought could occur in this land of freedom and opportunity. Thousands of our citizens and those of other countries lost their lives in the terrorist attacks in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania. Hundreds of heroes materialized during and after those attacks, and it is to them and to those fighting to strengthen our freedom that we dedicate this ceremony. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." On this 10th anniversary of the attacks, which is tomorrow, we each remember where we were and what we were doing the morning of September 11th, 2001. We will probably always remember. The events of that day changed our lives forever, making us realize that freedom is a very precious thing and not to be taken lightly. We are now engaged in a war to help other individuals and other nations experience freedom. It is a battle that will not easily be won. It is fitting that we dedicate this flagpole. Our nation's flag atop the pole serves as a symbol of the enduring spirit of all Americans. The words of former President Ronald Reagan, spoken on another occasion, seem just as appropriate today. He said, "We will always remember, we will always be proud, and we will always be prepared, so we may always be free." And now it is with great pride that we dedicate this flagpole to all of America's heroes and victims, and the commemorative plaque that we dedicate and present today. The base of the pole will say, "In honor and remembrance of the heroes and victims in the fight against terrorism, and to celebrate the enduring." Thank you. This flag of honor. And on this flag are the names of all of the victims, all of the heroes who perished in 9/11.
I'd just like to thank the Woodmen of the world for the beautiful flagpole on behalf. And we will serve this flag and fly this flag for many decades.
And at this time, I'd also like to recognize Amy House, who was very instrumental in getting this taken care of and making sure that we were able to do this for you today. And I'd now like to introduce First Sergeant Christopher Sample, who has served for us over these many years, and I'd like to have
6 years ago, I was serving in Iraq for the first time, and my sister asked me to write a few words down. So I wrote these words, and I'm just going to paraphrase a few of them, and then and citizens. Just to start off, it's an honor to be here today. I thank you all. Woodmen has done a great thing across flagpoles and appreciate you for spreading the colors of our great country. Our great country from around the world have answered our nation's call when needed. From the states of Washington and to Florida, Arizona, and Maine, these men and women serve our country's cause, freedom. Only one has to serve in a location such as Iraq or Afghanistan for a very short time to gain the true understanding of what freedom really means and what it takes to retain the God-given right. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to vote. These are just a few things that we have fought for on our own native soil, and now we do so for the people of Iraq and Afghanistan. As soldiers, we are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. As our brothers and sisters on the civilian side, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, and our law enforcement officials. We're not the only people that sacrifice time for so many things that we may never be able to replace. Time is one of them. Time away from our country, our families, and the most precious time of all. And then I just wrote a few words down here. One of my soldiers asked me, I just returned from Iraq 6 days ago, and we were down in Pennsylvania, or actually in New Jersey, at a demob station. And he asked me, he was a young soldier, he asked me, what do the colors of the flag mean? So I wrote them down for him. It says, today the flag consists of 13 horizontal stripes, 7 red alternating with 6 white. The stripes represent the original 13 colonies. The stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor, white symbolizes purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being here.
Chris, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
And that'll conclude our ceremony for today. I thank you all for coming, and I do want to send regards from our president, Todd Castine, who was unable to make it today, and he certainly wishes he could have been here. Thank you.
Okay, we've got the speaker today, the area manager for Vermont, and a secretary for Lodge 462 over here in Shazy, Mr. Tim Gagno. Tim, this is something that's been the flagpoles. How long has this been going on? I know flags have been a big part of Woodmen for 64 years now.
This particular flagpole's been going on for about 6 months, just getting the planning in place and finally getting it here within the last couple of months, and we were able to do the dedication today, which works out really well as far as the anniversary of 9/11 and the commemoration. Woodmen always puts together a wonderful program for the 9/11 dedications, and this one was right up there with all of those, especially with the anniversary.
Now, as I said, flags have a long time been a part of what Woodmen does. Over 2 million, I think you said, that have been presented across the country in the last 64 years. But when did presenting flagpoles become a regular routine for the society?
Presenting flagpoles started about 2002, right after the 9/11 attacks, and they really wanted to do something that really said, we want to dedicate and we want to commemorate these people, and so we started doing that around the country. And I think they were doing flagpoles before that, but not quite as much as they used to. And we now in Lodge 462 in Shazy, we try to do 2 flagpoles a year throughout the local community and finding places that have a need and making that happen.
So if you're in the Channel 24 viewing area, which is pretty much the area that Lodge 462 serves,
Basically, yeah.
Ellenberg, Altona, Champlain, Rouse's Point, West Shazy,
All the way up to Beekmantown.
And even if you're on the other side of the line, they might.
Well, there's a lodge in Plattsburgh for that. Lodge 1016 will do that as well, so that's great.
So if your community is in need of a flagpole and you'd like to get on the list to be considered, they can contact any member? Or
Definitely contact myself. Todd Castine is our president.
He's in Shazy.
He's in Shazy. Pretty much anybody that's involved with Woodmen. Dale Gagnon is the area manager here in Plattsburgh in this area.
Yeah, there's an office in Plattsburgh. You can just call there.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Now this flag of honor, that's something that I was kind of surprised to see today.
The flag of honor is something new. We were sent them by our fraternal president and Mark Tyson, and he sent a nice letter and said, donate these throughout the community. And so this is something that we're looking at. We got a few to be able to go ahead and make the donations. We're going to get some more, but for towns, fire departments, things like that, there's also a flag of, now the flag of honor, of course, is all of the victims of 9/11. There's also a flag of heroes that covers just the firefighters and police personnel, emergency personnel who died at 9/11. And so we thought, we're starting to think, and we're going to talk about some more. It would be a wonderful thing to do with our local fire departments and police departments, and make those presentations. So that's something that we're going to look at in the future.
It's a great idea. Whoever thought of that, whatever part of the country came up with that idea, is certainly appropriate, and particularly in our region in the Northeast, because this is where it happened. And
most definitely, yeah. It's when I saw that, we had to make that part of this ceremony, and I think we need to do some more ceremonies with them, because it's just a wonderful thing to have and be on display.
I know the Woodmen is also providing little hand flags for the Battle of Plattsburgh parade today.
Yes, we are providing, Lodge 462 is providing 1,000 hand flags, and Lodge 1016 in Plattsburgh is providing 1,000 hand flags. So there'll be 2,000 flags out there.
That's quick math, Tim.
Plus, because I think we gave it a little extra.
You act now.
So we always try to help them out with the Battle of Plattsburgh, and we've had a pretty good run this summer. Buddy's been in most of the local parades.
Buddy, the mascot.
Buddy, our mascot, and we had a 1930s car in the Moors Parade. So we're really trying to.
It was too wet for Buddy.
Too wet for Buddy. We didn't want Buddy to get all wet, but it's we're getting the word out and getting out there in the community and making sure that people know that we're here. Woodmen is there. Our motto is with you through life, and we're there to help families and the community.
Yeah, I first heard about the Woodmen in early 1975. I had just gotten my walking papers from Sheridan Iron Works in Champlain, and I went. And it was another guy who just left Sheridan also. That had his walking papers. They had to lay off, and they decided that we were expendable. And the more he told me about it, the more I said, I got to learn more about this, and of course became part of it, and I've been a part of Woodmen in different facets, but minor part right now, but still proud to be a part of what Woodmen has been doing. So
Definitely.
I've been involved since 36 years.
6 years ago, my cousin Dale said, you should get involved with this, and I said, well, life insurance, I'm not sure that that's something that but when I found out what Woodmen was and what Woodmen does, it's a part of my life now, and it will always be a part of my life. I love it, I enjoy it, and the ability to do things for the community and at the same time protect families, you can't get better than that combination.
Yeah. So I try to keep up to what you guys are doing, and I'm amazed at how much you guys are able to accomplish. So keep it up.
And thank you, and we're always happy to, and you're always there to give us tips and places to be and things to do. So we're happy to do that.
Oh, well, thanks for talking with us, Tim.
Take care. Thanks.
All right, don't go away. We'll take one last look at Old Glory here as we end this production at Chazy Town offices, a flagpole dedicated honor and remembrance for the heroes of 9/11/2001, and it's a great thing that the Woodmen do. And when you're driving by here on Route 9, stop and take a glance at the flag that is also provided by the Woodmen and the flagpole.